This is American justice. This is American democracy. And those of you who are familiar with it know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy. Now, if I'm wrong, put me in jail. But if you can't prove that a democracy is not hypocrisy, then don't put your hands on me. Democracy is hypocrisy. If democracy means freedom, why aren't our people free? If democracy means justice, why don't we have justice? If democracy means equality, why don't we have equality? Who are you? You don't know. Don't tell me Negro, that's nothing. What were you before the white man named you a Negro? And where were you? And what did you have? What was yours? What language did you speak then? What was your name? It couldn't have been Smith or Jones or Bunch or Powell. That wasn't your name. They don't have those kind of names where you and I came from. No, what was your name? And why don't you now know what your name was then? Where did it go? Where did you lose it? Who took it? And how did he take it? What tongue did you speak? How did the man take your tongue? Where is your history? How did the man wipe out your history? What did the man do to make you as dumb as you are right now? 20 million black people in this country have been like boys in the white man's house. He even calls us boys. Don't care how big you get, he calls you boy. You can be a professor. To him, you're just another boy. I heard him calling Ralph Bunche. Well, he's a good old boy. And if we can't do it, we should hush our mouth. If you can't do for yourself what the white man is doing for himself, don't say you're equal with the white man. If you can't set up a factory like he sets up a factory, don't talk that old equality talk.
Welcome to a special edition, late night edition of the Nick and CJ show. I'm one of your hosts. I'm CJ. What's up, Nick?
What poppin', my friends, my family? Late night, Nick and CJ. Man,
yeah,
things are about to get really like the political discourse about to get really dumb. But we saw Trump announced, and I had some thoughts. I'm glad that CJ will join us as well. Super interesting. Twitter is a very interesting
the way you describe it. What's an interesting place?
Everywhere, and they are trying to hide it. They're trying to hide it, but liberals are
scared.
They are so happy. They also, a lot of them are very happy too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the liberals in the media, they are hiding it, but you can kind of tell because a lot of these people, they made their careers off of Donald Trump. Now, the Democratic Party, a lot of the Democratic Party operatives, they're sweating. But man, the media, the ratings, CNN, MSNBC.
Oh yes. So let's split them up. Because that is true. That is true because CNN is going like this. Don Lemon is like, damn, 2 months early, I could have saved my night spot. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like that's completely, and newspapers completely, because now they're like money about to start rolling in, right? But as far as Nancy Pelosi, as far as Joe Biden, as far as the head of the DNC is no longer Sean Patrick Maloney. I don't know who it's going to be because he just lost his race. But this is about to be, you thought it's a circus now. And how are they going to keep a former president and a current presidential candidate likely to win the nomination off of Twitter? You tell me how they're going to explain that. How?
I really wish Trump was on Twitter. Things would be so much funnier. How can people justify having literally one of the most mainstream presidential candidates off of Twitter? Man, that's how you know big tech take favors from the ruling class. You had liberals spreading misinformation about Iran all over Twitter, saying that Iran is about to execute 15,000 protesters. You have liberal politicians, you have liberal pundits in the media repeating that. But Trump get banned for misinformation and inciting violence. You got liberals that are calling for the death of Russians. You have liberals that call for escalating nuclear war. But you guys want to ban Trump? Fuck that. I don't care if liberals get mad at me. They can get mad at me all they want. But Man,
they mad at you for a lot of reasons, but let's show at least the announcement, even though we didn't show it live. But I have the announcement. Oops, I thought I already had it out. I can just click one of these. Let's do that. And so this one is from Newsmax, and it's very brief. It's literally because the entire like speech or event is like an hour. But they just clipped just the part, or 52 seconds, sorry. They clipped the part where that applies to him announcing. If I can get this to clear. Oh, hold on a second here. That's why. My bad, everybody. I had something else open, so I had to close it. So here we go. Let me rewind it. I don't know if we missed. He said something in the beginning.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States. Thank you. Thank you. All of you. Thank you. So many incredible friends and family here tonight. It's such a beautiful thing. Some people say, how do you speak before so many people all the time? When there's love in the room, it's really easy. If you want to know the truth, it really is.
So that's Newsmax, and we can play a longer clip if we want to listen to a little bit of what he says. But what shot to my mind is, I don't know how they can beat him. I really don't see us. I'm trying to think of a candidate that can beat him without COVID. That's what I'm trying to think. But what were your first thoughts when you heard it? I saw your tweet, but I don't know if that was your first thought, but I saw your tweet.
Yeah, I was watching some of Trump's speech, and to me, I don't know how much of the speech that you guys watched, but it was very like boring. It's like everyday Trump stuff. I'm gonna show you guys this clip. I remember I saw this part here, and I'm gonna give you guys reaction because this is Trump. Obviously, he's being ridiculous on the climate here, but he was warning about nuclear war, and he also mentioned, and once again, you guys know I'm the foreign policy guy, so I was a lot of his speech was nonsense. I was like, I want to see what he said on foreign policy. He was like, when I was president, you didn't have the DPRK launch a missile test. And the funny thing is, there's actually a decent point for not the reason why he thinks. Because I covered this before. North Korea launched missile tests because the United States, the Biden administration and his military was performing joint operations with the South Korea first. So that is what led North Korea to launch missiles in retaliation. But that mainstream media don't tell you that. So Donald Trump went up there. He's like, well, when I was leader, the North Korea, they wouldn't dare to launch missiles because he was trying to pretend he was a tough guy. But they didn't launch missiles because he didn't do anything to provoke them the way that the Biden administration has done. And
do you think he knows that? Do you think he knows the difference?
I have no idea. And I say that because Trump is so dumb. I swear to God, I really don't know. I really don't know. Because I feel like his advisors, I think this would be a good zinger. But Trump doesn't know why it's a good zinger. The reason why DPRK is getting more militarized because Biden, Kamala Harris has been insane on this issue. Many anti-imperialists was warning when she was selected as vice president. She said stuff like, we need to first strike North Korea. You had Joe Biden that said we need to reduce the island to rubble. So then liberals saw Donald Trump had these meetings with Kim Jong-un, and liberals were like, oh my God, see, this is dictators and tyrants coming together. See, Kim, he likes Donald Trump because he's a dictator. No, he saw a president of the United States for the very first time that was like, we don't want to destroy this island. For having the audacity to resist U.S. hegemon and resist U.S. genocide that they waged in Korea. So anyway, let me get to the video. That was kind of a tangent. I think some things he said on foreign policy is worth the note. A lot of it was a lot of culture war stoking, which could definitely cost Trump. We explained how wokeness is very hurting the Republican Party. The anti-woke ideology and like throwing that word around every campaign ad clearly did not help Republicans. Clearly did not. But anyway, let's watch this video and you guys see what I'm talking about.
The Green New Deal and the environment, which they say may affect us in 300 years, is all that is talked about. And yet nuclear weapons, which would destroy the world immediately, are never even discussed as a...
Do y'all hear that?
Yeah.
So Bernie Sanders in the squad don't give a fuck about nuclear war, but they're pushing climate activism and change. You had Elizabeth Warren at her rally. They were talking about student debt, and the guy said, there's no point of erasing student debt. We're gonna die in nuclear war." So this is not praising Trump at all. But you notice how Trump is warning about nuclear war. Meanwhile, the Democrats and there are neocons in the Biden administration that like, we can win a nuclear war. That's what the Democrats.
Nick, what do you think about this complete political, like, narrative flipping?
Yeah.
Now Trump is saying no nuclear war to Republicans, and Biden is pushing forward. Where, like, what do you think of this just complete flip of the parties in this scenario, in this situation with this war?
That's why people who have analysis from 2015 are unserious. It's the Democratic Party that is the party of the police state, like they're the party of the neocons in the military-industrial complex. Yes, Republicans will continue that and will continue that if they win and continue to get elected. But that, just like Morning Joe is the face of propaganda on cable news, the Democratic Party is the face of the military-industrial complex. There's no substantive difference when it comes to the Republican Party and the Democratic Party on stuff like China. The policy on China, sending arms to Ukraine, despite the narrative, all the Republican senators except Rand Paul was for it, and I don't think Donald Trump would be against it either. But anyway, let's. I didn't finish all of it. Let's watch it again, and then let's break it down some more. Because this is Trump outflanking Bernie Sanders on nuclear war and peace.
That is talked about, and yet nuclear weapons, which would destroy the world immediately, are never even discussed as a major threat. Can you imagine? They say the ocean will rise 1/8 of an inch over the next 200 to 300 years. But don't worry about nuclear weapons that can take out entire countries.
Can you pause it there?
Yeah.
You see how he's able to bastardize wokeness?
Yeah.
You see right there. You have people who saying climate change, but they're pushing to nuclear war. You see how they're able to sort of what is the word? Recuperation.
Yeah, you notice that only
change the word.
That only works on the boutique left too. It will only work on them because they are the one who push climate imperialism. Like they are the ones who tell Africa and other countries in the global south they wag their finger. Control your consumption. Working class, you go vegan. Working class, you drink straws. Meanwhile, they are all for sending weapons and funding the military-industrial complex more. Marjorie Taylor Greene dismantled AOC this year when she sent a tweet that AOC didn't respond to. She said, "AOC, what is the carbon emissions of that weapons package that you sent to Ukraine?" and you know, AOC. She loves her some Marjorie Taylor Greene beef. She loves her some Ted Cruz beef, but she didn't respond to that one because that's
what if this is a dance, Nick? Yeah. If they're a party controlled by the same oligarchy, same ruling class, right? This is just a dance for us.
Yeah.
You see the flipping of it. You see how the coordination of destroying wokeness, trying to destroy the idea.
In the Democratic
Party, doing it together.
Yeah, for example, if anyone tried to call RBN woke imperialist, that will fall flat, right? The only reason why the woke imperialist talking point exists is because AOC and Bernie Sanders become woke imperialists in
Right.
order to back up the right in their talking point. And it serves them multiple purposes. It allows them to demonize the true left flank and marginalize and mute their ideas while painting the Democratic Party as the representative of those ideas, even though they represent the exact opposite. That is woke imperialism. That is the wokeism that a lot of people bastardize. Instead of explaining it properly, that these people actually don't care about our community, don't know our theory. They just hijack our language and then implement the same policies that the right wing does. That is only enabled by Bernie and squad. Like Trump wouldn't even be able to say that if all the climate activists in the Democratic Party was advocating for peace.
And now let me explain why people on the left, even though it's bastardized, you use the word, but not in the sense like you're not in the same sense, because it's like left. So boutique people start to use the word left. Do we run away and stop using left, or do we call them boutique left? Like we're still using the word left, and we still use the word left, but we're adding this to let people know this is a fake left person. So it's the same sort of thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, another interesting I want to ask you about, because I want to talk about this as well, because I've been following the schism in the Republican Party, and I said this on Jimmy Dore, so it was like, damn, I'm on record on a big platform saying that I think Ron DeSantis will be better than Donald Trump. So I'm gonna show you guys some receipts, and and it seems like obviously polls this early out don't really mean nothing. This is just a Twitter poll that's not scientific. I do want to emphasize Twitter polls are not scientific, but they come with large sample sizes, right? 220,000 votes, 81%. This guy, I know if you see this guy around, he's a big like right-wing influencer. That's why I pulled him up, and not like Midas Touch or Brooklyn Dad did this poll.
Right,
this is from the Republican base, right? On Twitter, 100% unscientific, right? But this is the scientific polls, right? More voters prefer DeSantis to Trump as 2024 GOP nominee. I saw this earlier. I saw the video. I couldn't find the video though. But there was pretty much this press conference when Ron DeSantis was asked about Trump attacking him, and Ron DeSantis, like, he knows, almost like he knows he's in a better position than Trump, because he kind of like this to it, like, well, you ain't a popular governor, you get shit done, people gonna come after you, people gonna criticize you because they try. It almost like Trump is just another one of them liberal media, because he immediately pivoted to the media, like, well, the media attacks me all the time, like just swiping him. So my intention, my prediction, I said on Jimmy in front of a large audience, it seems like Ron DeSantis is about to run the table on boy. I don't know if you agree with that. What are your thoughts?
How I thought of it is a Trump DeSantis ticket is what I was thinking, and I think DeSantis being being the VP and then just getting ready for the next run, because Trump can only stay in office another 4 years.
Yeah, so we see if I'm right or wrong on this in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But remember in 2008 when there was Barack Obama versus Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, everyone assumed was going to be the nominee.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were saying, hey, Obama, it's best if you wait your turn. You can run in 2020. You can run in 2016. You can run in 2022 if Hillary loses. You can run in 2026 after her term. A lot of people in the Democratic media and the people in the inside was like, Obama, just wait, just let Hillary win. And Obama was like, nigga, you see that speech I gave in 2006, bro? You think I'm about to wait for this motherfucker? Hell nah. So he challenged her. He like, I know it's smart for me to wait. I know that seemed like the politically calculated move, but I'm the alpha right now, motherfucker. Move out the way.
I think he'll run. I think DeSantis will run. I'm not. What I think, Nick, is I think he may run, but I don't know if DeSantis's culture war, just like we were saying earlier, of why the Democrats won won. I don't know if that works in 50 states that it needs to run. Now, it may work in the states that he needs to win, which is Ohio, Florida. Think about the states. It could work because Ohio, Florida, Wisconsin, those happen to be 3 states that actually could work. But if he needs to like win other states, I'm not sure that'll work. And that's why I think it'll be close, but Trump will be at the top of the ticket. And then that's going to indicate to Trump how strong DeSantis is, how close it gets. He's going to say, I need to choose this guy.
I hope DeSantis runs so bad because the COVID culture war on the right is going to escalate. And this is something that a lot of people don't talk about because
there's disagreement.
The Democratic Party, the Democratic Party fucked up, dude. To this day, I believe the Democratic Party fucked up by banning Trump on Twitter because Trump was someone who was saying the vaccine was effective. He was telling his people that, hey, why are you guys doing the vaccine? We should take pride in the vaccine. Yeah, and you guys know how Trump is. He's like, yeah, the Biden administration is ruining it. Whatever. That's what he always would say. He's like, the Biden administration is ruining it. The Democrats are ruining it, but we should be proud of the Trump vaccine. And Candace Owens had Donald Trump on her show, and she pushed back on him on this, and Trump was not having it. She was like, no, this is our vaccine. And then Candace later said that Trump, after that interview, was extremely hostile to her, was extremely rude, after Candace challenged him on her vaccine narrative. And the reason why Trump was mad was because after Trump left, Candace Owens was like, we're trying to apologize for Trump because Candace groomed her audience to be anti-mandate, to be anti-vaccine. Then they just saw Trump go on her show and then be 100% pro-vaccine. And so Candace was like, well, you guys got to understand, Trump he's in a different position than we are. He's going to be president. He was in charge of the vote. She was literally trying to talk because the audience was pissed. So she was trying to talk him down. Trump saw that, and then Trump turned on Candace Owens. And I learned this recently because Candace Owens came out and talked about it. I was like, whoa. So Trump.
Wait. So, but I thought Trump is against mandates, but he's for the vaccine.
Yes.
But I thought he was against mandates, so I don't see.
No, so you understand.
So they're against the vaccine specifically. I thought they were just against the mandate. So conservatives, they think the vaccine don't even take it at all, is what you're saying.
So Trump is against mandates. He during his speech, he said as soon as he take office, all the military members who was discharged because they refused to take the vaccine will be reinstated and they will be paid full back pay. So he's against the mandates, but he took a lot of hit because he told people that they should celebrate the vaccine and the vaccine is effective. And the MAGA crowd, the whole thing is the vaccine is not effective. You know how the left, there are a lot of people on the left that questions the vaccines, but mostly we just like, all right, we don't really care as long as you get the mandates. But on MAGA, they want you to say, yo, the vaccine sucks. And there's like this tension. Because Candace essentially said what I said. You're like, well, I know Trump, he's against mandates, but he can't say the vaccine is bad. And just her saying that, Trump turned against him. So Trump called Ron DeSantis Ron DeSanctimonious. And this is something that a lot of people missed. The reason why he called Ron DeSanctimonious is because Ron DeSantis is acting sanctimonious over his COVID policies in Florida. And he said, oh, well, he always trying to lecture and trying to pretend he's better than now. And that is the underlying issue there. That the fraction and the tension and the debate is over that. So when the primary election starts, that's probably the one thing that I'm going to be looking. That's going to be the biggest thing that splits the base. And that's why I think a lot of the.
But isn't COVID over? How is this still a thing? Like how
the right,
you know what I mean? How for the future, like you're arguing over COVID that is no longer a issue, meaning the mandate. Like that's bizarre. But hey, we're living in
that's just what I seen. Like I seen a lot of people say. Actually, I'm actually curious. Let me show you. I'm gonna just go to this right wingers thread, and I also wanted to show you guys just some general reactions. So maybe we might find some. New poll showed Trump. This poll is different. It said this poll showed Trump crushed him with a 50-point lead. in a national primary. One who did this poll. But anyway, I saw a lot of people
crushing who though. Crushing who?
This is one. I don't know who did this poll. Who did this poll? But 2024. I guess I'll read it. 2024 national Republican primary. Trump 65%, DeSantis 15%. Holy shit! I'm about to be wrong. I'm about to be wrong with shit. My initial gut instinct was saying, like, yo, I think DeSantis is gonna win.
So what was the poll that said he would win? Like what? Because this is what I think.
Why
this is what I think.
Different? Why are these polls so different? Hold up.
Let me tell you what I think though. I think you have see, this is how I look at it. Who is telling us DeSantis is the better? Isn't it the same people who don't want Trump to run? Isn't it the same people who was talking about January 6th? So I'm thinking that is just projection they're trying to do. They are trying to even pump up DeSantis so that Trump doesn't want. They're trying whatever they can do to not have Trump win. And if that means giving favorable coverage or favorable polling to DeSantis, that's what they'll do. And that's how I read what's going on.
So I guess I shouldn't be too scared yet, because my initial gut reaction, and if I'm wrong, is that I think Trump is washed. I don't know, man. Maybe I'll underestimate like the fervor that Trump supporters love Donald Trump with.
Well, Trump
is
just so good at making shit up. Remember, it was literally every day it was a new storyline. So just his ability to literally manipulate the media on the stop of a dime on a story. You understand, he was on video saying he was going to grabbing girls' vagina. He was on video saying this, and he was elected.
Yeah, this is also another important point by Johnny. They literally make polls to say whatever they want.
Yes, exactly. Very important. They know who to ask. They know what state to go to. They know what area. Think about how they map out congressional districts where they're gerrymandering. You don't think they know exactly where to go to poll to get a particular poll, Nick? They know exactly where to go to get a particular poll.
You want to see Joe Biden's response? Because I saw this. He posted this literally the second that Donald Trump said he was going to run for president.
Let's see.
So let's watch. This is Biden's. This is interesting to watch, because this is the first like preview of how Biden's going to attack Donald Trump. So let's see this is literally a 50-second video. He posted this an hour ago, but look, 8:20. This is literally right when he said he was running for president. So you know they had this motherfucker queued up.
Yeah.
So let's see what they say.
Nobody has ever done what we've done in the last 4 years.
Their entire economic plan, tax cuts for the rich and corporations.
And record-breaking unemployment.
The worst jobs report on record.
Trump is the only modern president to leave office with fewer jobs than when he took office.
The Trump administration formally asking the Supreme Court to overturn the Affordable Care Act. This could leave up to 23 million Americans without coverage.
Bro, still the Affordable Care Act? Is this 2010?
Oh my God.
I guess this works. I guess. But literally still the Affordable Care Act. I keep it short. I'll keep it going.
At the end. It'll be so good at the end. You also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no?
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form. And
that's gonna hurt Trump.
Because of the Roe versus Wade. Now he can say that because when they were protected, you know what I mean. Like they don't care. Oh, he said whatever, nigga. It was be protected by the Supreme Court. That's no longer the case. So it could.
So comments. Feel free to push back on me if you disagree. But like look at the exit polls of this midterms. Republicans choked this election away, and I explained before by focusing on the culture war and instead of engaging people's material needs. So not only that, but then you had them overturn Roe v. Wade. And I know, like, we can look at that situation as Marxist, and we can say, well, yeah, the Democratic Party, they call just as much evil as Republicans. And I wouldn't disagree with that. But the average person who don't pay attention to politics, they just see, yo, Republicans took my right away. They don't know the theory like we do. So they just like, all right, fuck you. You're not going to tell me what I can do with my body. And that literally prevented the red wave. And that was the biggest choke job. And that led to my thesis that the GOP did that to give the Democratic Party a gift, because all polls and all indicators show that they were about to get wiped, and both parties benefit from the illusion of a functioning two-party duopoly. So my theory is they did that to throw the election away. Because think about it like this: if they really wanted to do this, overturn Roe v. Wade, why not wait till after 2022?
Right.
Literally nothing changes. You literally got
all the courts could have put it on the calendar for. They didn't have to put it on the calendar for now.
And you probably would have Congress and Senate. So it literally did not make sense to do that before the midterms, unless they wanted to give Democratic Party a boost. Because
I said, this is a dance. This is a dance. The same people, like the Democrats and Republicans, don't have to talk to each other to coordinate if they got the same boss. You get what I'm saying? Like they don't have to do that. So this is just the dance that they're doing. But I go ahead.
I'm gonna finish the video now. Pass to you. I don't know if you have something you want to share.
Absolutely.
I'll just play it from the beginning because it's only 50 seconds. We just watch it one more time and then give our final thoughts.
Nobody has ever done what we've done in the last 4 years.
Their entire economic plan, tax cuts for the rich and corporations.
And record-breaking unemployment.
The worst jobs report on record.
Trump is the only modern president to leave office with fewer jobs than when he took office.
The Trump administration formally asking the Supreme Court to overturn the Affordable Care Act. This could leave up to 23 million Americans without coverage.
I hope that they end. It'll be so good if they end. You also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no?
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form. And if I win, we will treat those people from January 6th fairly. And if it requires pardons, we will give them pardons.
That's going to be a big thing. So January 6th, we're going to be hearing all the damn time. They're going to be saying he's going to pardon all the January 6th traitors. That's going to be a storyline. They're going to go.
Things about to get real dumb. It's going to be real dumb. So much of political. Look at this. Is a tweet from NPR. I'll put your screen right back up here.
Go ahead. Take it down.
Because look, you see the first thing that they put out there.
What does it say? What does it say?
It said breaking Donald Trump, who tried to overthrow the results of the 2020 presidential election. This is how they announce the former president running again. They don't say the former president Donald Trump is running, announces re-election. They say Donald Trump, who tried to overthrow the 2020 presidential election and inspired a deadly riot at the Capitol in a desperate attempt to keep himself in power. That's how to run again. That's a long.
Is that what they said? Or are you exaggerating? You added something to that?
No, that's what they read. They literally said all of that shit. Instead of saying, look, everything I highlighted, they could cut out if they like a news organization. You can say breaking. Donald Trump has vowed to run for president again in 2024. That's the headline.
I mean, you could do the same thing for Joe Biden. Joe Biden, the guy who sexually assaulted Tara Reid and put hundreds of thousands of black and brown indigenous people behind bars for no good reason. Like, you can do the same thing for this guy. The guy who's trying to take us to nuclear war with 2 nuclear powers at the same time.
Oh my God, that's such a good point, CJ. Imagine if NPR was like Joe Biden, who wrote the crime bill and is responsible for destroying the lives of Black Americans, who wrote the bankruptcy bill, the guy who's responsible for your student loan debt crisis, had failed to run for president.
Exactly.
So, I'll be 100% clear. I do not have any problem with this style of journalism. I wish they did that for everybody. Right? I actually would not mind if they did this for every politician. The frustration is they literally only do it for the orange man. So let me read this again. Breaking: Donald Trump, who tried to overthrow the results of a 2020 presidential election and inspired a deadly riot at the Capitol in a desperate attempt to keep himself in power, has vowed to run for president again. Man, it seems like you have a bias, just a little bit. There's a little bit of bias there.
Let's listen to this. Is a very short video. What does it say there? 7 minutes. So David Pakman. So of course we got to check out what the liberals are saying, Nick, about this announcement. So let's see the foolery that's going on in the middle.
Donald Trump at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight will be making an announcement. The expectation is that he's going to announce he's running for president.
Isn't he so dramatic? He's so like he's
Bro, he's
so
such
dramatic.
an actor.
Yes.
I'll be better served if I was more like that. Like I think in terms of like building an audience. But when we go to RBN, we literally just act ourselves and we literally just talk. When I'm watching people, I'm like, dude, this nigga is playing a character. And it's obvious. Anyway, go ahead.
Although there are many people telling him don't do it, at least don't do it yet. Donald Trump, in his infinite delusions of grandeur, is saying that hopefully this announcement will be one of the most important days in American history. Think about that.
Think about how the narrative is that Donald Trump was a loser, but he won the election. You see how that works? Like what do you mean? What do you mean a loser? What did he lose? Because he should have lost. He's that terrible, but he beat Hillary Clinton. And did Joe Biden already announce that he's going to rerun again? I can't remember if he did or not.
He didn't announce it yet, but after the results in the midterms, I would say he probably definitely running again.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of people in media, like his DNC media people, been saying after I saw Pramila Jayapal said that this election is a win for Joe Biden, and that doesn't mean that Joe Biden should 100% win again, so should run again. And they will use this as a hey, if you want Democrats to win, you need Biden to win because he prevented the red wave.
Yeah, they'll connect.
So that's what I think will happen, but we never know. But go ahead, you can continue the video.
All right.
That Donald Trump believes that whatever he's going to say tonight, and we will carry it live, is going to be one of the most important days in the history of the United States. Talk about narcissism. Donald Trump posting yesterday on his platform Truth Social.
Truth Central.
Quote, hopefully tomorrow will turn out to be one of the most important days in the history of our capital C country. And then again today, Trump posted, hopefully today.
He's trying to point out an English grammar issue. You hear the elitism in what this guy is saying,
and that's also
he's saying capital C country. he's trying to point out that it should be lowercase. Go ahead.
These people are institutionalists, and it shows how vapid they really are. Because when they criticize Trump, they be like, "Oh my God, look at his grammar, look at his spelling. He said covfefe. He said covfefe that one time." Meanwhile, we criticize Trump. We're like, "Yo, Trump is funding multiple genocides. He's arming Saudi Arabia and genocide in Yemen." Meanwhile, liberals like, "Oh my God, do you see his typo he sent on Twitter that one time?" He's like, "Trump is literally funding DHS that is raping migrants and stealing their human rights." Do you see Trump? He forgot to add a comma. You guys see the difference?
Yeah, they really think that's a win, like they're owning them. But
will turn out to be one of the most important days in the history of our country. However, not everybody thinks this is a good idea. Donald Trump's
let's listen.
Final former press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, says Trump should not declare today. Take a listen to this.
And that could go straight through the state of Georgia.
Does that include Trump?
I think he needs to put it on pause. Absolutely. Look, he'll make that decision. He'll make his own decision. But
does he go to Georgia?
If I'm advising any contender, DeSantis, Trump, whomever, no one announces 2024 until we get through December 6th.
Do you see the former president a need for him to go to Georgia?
I saw some people saying that. Now I just not thought about this. So Trump declaring they have the runoff in Georgia in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I always see people saying, "Yo, this is about to affect the Georgia race significantly after Trump announced." And that's why this person on Fox News is like, "Trump, please, please don't announce right now. Please don't announce right now."
Why? I would think that this is a plus for the Georgia race because don't Georgia love Trump?
Yeah, that's a good question, CJ, and that's a legit response.
I mean, I think he won last time, but
yeah,
I don't think that's going back blue. Go ahead.
See, the theory is Republicans win when Democrats are not energized, right? What would energize Democrats more than any motherfucking thing on this goddamn planet? So Republicans, in order to win the elections, like we need the Democrats to sleep. No, these Republicans ain't coming out for Herschel Walker. A lot of these motherfuckers refuse to vote for him, right? And so now, if you can get Donald Trump, and you're like, yo, now Democrats going to be saying, if Herschel Walker loses, that's going to be a rebuke of Trump after his announcement. So now Democrats who probably would not have given a fuck about that election is going to come out and vote just so Donald Trump can take that L. And that's what I think is the thesis behind it. I let the video play a little bit more, but I saw a lot of Republicans before this, and I didn't even consider that until you put this clip up, because I remember seeing people say that after the midterm elections, Trump probably shouldn't announce his candidacy, especially after the Georgia Senate runoff. But anyway, let's continue. Let's see what she says, because this is based on what I heard from right-wing circles. But go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, 1 second, only because I just can't believe this, dude. Just on our channel, there's absolutely no reason for this stream to be limited, but YouTube has marked this stream limited, and it's just Donald J. Trump. They don't like us at all, bro. They don't like it. Automatically goes to limited when we are streaming, because they don't know what the fuck we gonna say. I guess. I mean, I don't know, but I see we're at 181 likes. Can we push to 350? We have 400 people watching. Let's push to 350. Nick, back to you.
Yeah. So actually, I want to hear what she. You can play the video because I want to hear what she says in terms of. I'm gonna see if I can find some more like opinions on Trump DeSantis, because I saw quite a few of it, but you can continue to play the video.
I think we've got to make strategic calculations. Governor DeSantis, I think he should be welcome to the state, given what happened last night. You got to look at the realities on the ground. And Herschel Walker, we've got to win the Senate. That's it, guys. Got to win the Senate.
All right, we'll move on. The Democrats.
Yeah. So Kayleigh doesn't think this is such a good idea, at least not before the December 6th runoff. Now, some have.
So in liberal world, in this progressive Democrat world, what do they think they're proving by showing that this person who worked for him, like, what does he think he's proving by saying, so look, Kelly doesn't think? Like, what does that do?
It's
like,
CJ, what they're doing makes no sense, because most polls show that the average voter don't want Biden to run. Here it is. I will literally search. Look at this. I'll pull it up from my screen. So the message that comes from Pac-Man and a lot of these people, oh man, Donald Trump is facing some GOP opposition because some people don't want him to run. Meanwhile, most polls show that Democrats don't want Biden to run. So where is that analysis? And RBN, we are free to make these criticisms. We are free to say this because we are not two-party duopoly cheerleaders.
We're not bound. Yeah.
So when you watch RBN, you know we're going to call out both parties. We're going to call out the inconsistencies on both parties. If you're going to say that Trump is in trouble because there's some people that want Trump to run, you must say the same thing about Joe Biden, right? But anyway, go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, let's finish the video. Let's hear some more. I mean, this guy, the more I watch him, because literally I started watching some of his content maybe 2 weeks ago. He's pretty entertaining. Even though I don't, critique a lot of his videos, he's pretty funny. And you've already noticed because he seems very much
so
like
dramatic.
An actor at this. Yeah.
Some have speculated that Trump is going to change his plan tonight and instead will announce something about Herschel Walker. However, he's already scamming people out of money, claiming it'll go to Herschel Walker. It'll go mostly to him. I'll get to that in a moment. Another person who doesn't think Trump should be announcing tonight is Republican Governor John Sununu.
Real quick.
Take a listen.
So Democrats bring up the fact that Trump scams his base, which is true. And it's also hilarious, right? Because Trump be like, yo, guys, send us some money and we're going to challenge the election results. He took the money and they literally pocketed it for legal defense. So that is true. But you want to know who else did that? Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
Stacey Abrams was caught taking campaign money, and she paid a friend of hers who was helping with her campaign that was a contractor. She was caught overpaying them by millions of dollars.
Millions.
So, guys, every single critique that we have of Trump that some Democrats say, we may agree with it. But the point is that it applies to the Democratic Party as well. Isn't that right, CJ? Like whenever you hear people say that Trump and the Republicans are racist, authoritarians, we're not nodding our head saying no. We're saying you too, motherfucker.
The disagreement is not on that. It's just that the disagreement is that the Democratic Party is the same way. But so let's listen to. I'm just trying to understand. So it's so like tribal that they go after every nitpick point, because get the point that he's making, Nick. He's saying he shouldn't announce tonight, not that he shouldn't run. So he's nitpicking to say somehow he like you're just doing it, before December 6th. You're just an idiot. Like he's doing it literally 3 weeks. Wait 3 weeks and you just got a better strategy. Like, what is the critique? That's what I'm getting at. Like, what is it? What is it you're saying here?
Yeah.
So let's continue.
So listen to this.
I know you say the media loves to talk about Donald Trump, and perhaps that's fair, but it's not just the media, it's Donald Trump himself, and he's planning to announce for president on Tuesday.
Sorry, guys. It's Chris Sununu. I apologize. Chris Sununu.
Is that a good idea?
For him, no. I think it's a terrible idea for him. Look, from just a purely political standpoint, we still don't know what's going to happen in Georgia. The votes are still being counted in Nevada and Arizona. By the way,
Nevada and Arizona went Democrat.
Primary.
Yeah. Nevada and Arizona
the governor's race is undecided.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, the governor's race in Arizona is still undecided. Yeah, only about 80 or 90% in, so we'll see where that goes. But look, people want to move away from politics as you hit Thanksgiving, as you hit Christmas, as we're spending time with families, as we're trying to figure out how we're going to fill our oil tanks with all these high fuel prices. So now's just a horrible time for big political statements. Save that for early 23 would be my message. But either way, it doesn't really matter. It's going to be great for the media. Saturday Night Live, we'll probably love it. But for the rest of us, we're going to focus on spending time with our families. And
all right. So Chris,
the media industrial complex, the liberal media industrial complex is loving this. They're literally toasting tonight. Nick, I can take that out and we can go to a different.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys now, because I don't know about you, CJ, but I was going to keep this about an hour. You can stay a little bit longer.
Yeah, no, I'm really ready.
I wanted this to be a chill, quick update stream. I just want to show you guys some stuff I'm seeing. Then they actually refreshed. I want to show you guys something, but they refreshed it, but not a big deal. Look at this video. Trump said he wants people who sell drugs to get a death penalty. What the fuck? Oh, let's see what he said here. I actually missed this part of the speech. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched only like maybe 20 minutes of it, just in the background. Let's see what he says.
We're going to be asking everyone who sells drugs, gets caught selling drugs, to receive the death penalty for their heinous acts, because
that's why it's like I had a debate with this right winger today. It was like a 2-hour debate in a way where like there's not really any way you can debate these people, because I'm like, we got to address the root cause of crime. We got to address poverty, and if you address people's material needs, you can reduce crime. And the guy was debating, he said, I don't really care about addressing the root cause of crime. If we just lock as many people up as we can keep the streets safe. So that's why I was like, bro, how can you demonize authoritarian China when you have this insane ideology of just locking up the entire population? That's why I told you.
But how does a population, a government, or a police state whose number one concern is public safety, if public safety is addressing the root cause, you see how they're not even they're acknowledging they're not about a public safety. They're acknowledging that they're about being fascistic and just being forcing you to do something. Go ahead.
Yeah. And that guy, he admitted that cops don't do anything to reduce crime. He said the only thing he want to do is lock more people up. That way he think the response should be. That's why when people ask me, do you want to recruit Trump supporters? I told you guys, it's a waste of time. Like, we need to be disciplined. Like, there are the independent-minded Republicans that will join our side, but the petit bourgeoisie, which that is what they are. Those are the people who attend Trump rallies. The person who like a hardcore Trump rally attendee, the hardcore partisans, the person who legitimately believes that people who use drugs should get the death penalty, that's the population that we have to defeat. We can't even bother wasting our time trying to win those people over, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. We need to win over the 50% of the population who do not vote. We need to peel the small amount of independents from both parties and build a coalition and defeat the 30% of the population that has always left salty. You see them Gusanos in Florida. At every revolution, there's a percentage of the population that's salty because you won't win everyone over. You gotta have your heart hardened to the point of beating 25 to 30% of the population and leaving them in tears. That is the point of the revolution. So anyone who believes this, anyone who would cheer Trump on, anyone who would vote for Trump after he says this, I'm not focused on those people. You are so far gone to cheer for this. That's the point I am.
Because we're going to be asking everyone who sells drugs, gets caught selling drugs, to receive the death penalty for their heinous acts.
So I remember I had conversations with anti-war, anti-imperialists, people who consider themselves capitalists. If you're anti-war, that's a great starting position. If you believe that people should die and get a death penalty because they sell drugs, and you cheer that, and you willing to vote for someone for that, that's not really a good starting position. Like,
yeah, but it's funny. It's funny that, but think about the propaganda and the conditioning that people have that reaction to somebody selling a substance, but they don't have that reaction, or they don't call for that for somebody being the cause for millions of people losing their savings, their life savings, and losing their homes. You see how? But think of that. Which one has more pain? Which one is creating more pain? That's why I like when the debate you had is like, who's determining what's a crime? Because which cause more pain? People who's literally their life savings. Imagine you're 60 years old, you just lost $200,000 that was in your bank. You just lost all the value in your house. Nobody called for the death penalty for those people, but people who want to use a substance on themselves. Nick, tell me how that's not. Drug laws are policing morality. That's what drugs laws are about. So we're still living this Puritan lifestyle in the United States. We're not going to get rid of it. But my final sort of predictions about 2024 and Donald Trump, I don't see. Oh, this is one thing. I mean, we still got a few minutes to talk before the hour is up. But I don't see. Who do you think will be, or I guess is already, if it's not Joe Biden, since he hasn't decided, I don't know who else it could be. Do you think him announcing forces the hand of the Democrats to in a particular way? Like they have to go with Joe Biden, or they have to go with somebody new? What do you think?
I'm trying to remember who said this. Well, was I watching you guys? I don't remember, but there's on the topic of your question. Someone was asking Democratic Party leaders. They said, "Yo, right now on the right, you have this big debate. Like you got Josh Hawley that's calling out Kevin McCarthy. He calling out Mitch McConnell. Josh Hawley said that he's not going to support Mitch McConnell for Senate leader after his performance." And he wants a new up-and-coming, rising young Republican to take his place. And there's all these young, bright, like on the right, they consider them bright, young, bright Republican leaders that are about to challenge Mitch McConnell. Josh Hawley, like, I'm going to support this person. My question for you guys, who is that person for the Democratic Party? Ro Khanna was just asked about whether he would support Nancy Pelosi for speaker. And he's like, well, even if I didn't want to support Nancy Pelosi, there's no one that could challenge her. The Democratic Party is a party full of fossils. So they will say China and Russia are the authoritarian countries because these bureaucrats get elected and they serve lifetime terms. That is the United States. Nancy Pelosi is third in line to be president and has been in power for 4 decades despite never debating an opponent. Dianne Feinstein, the same thing. Jim Clyburn, the same thing. Chuck Schumer, how long has he been in Congress? So to answer your question, it's been built this way because the Democratic Party oligarchs have they solidified their grasp of power, and they will not give it up. Not even to the young up and coming shit lips.
Yeah,
they refuse to even set a path for the young members of the Democratic Party because the donors don't even want to risk the idea or the possibility of a younger Democrat being slightly
What's
more.
What's going to happen, Nick, when Pelosi is dead, when Feinstein is dead, like Hoyer is dead, Clyburn, like what are they going to do?
And this is, people do not talk about this enough. People have no idea the fossils that are in Congress. Like there is this story. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Because it went around. I'm gonna say Parkinson's, dementia, Congress. Because there was this story where this doctor came out and said that many members of Congress literally are on Parkinson's and dementia medications. Right? No shame. Everyone goes through health issues, but these people are in power. They have been serving for multiple decades, and they do not have to debate opponents. When has Nancy Pelosi debated an opponent? When had Jim Clyburn? When had Dianne Feinstein? So in our country, and we break down propaganda all the time, they say, gee, in China has reestablished a firm hold of power. You know how they use the scary language? Yeah. They solidified. That's a language they use that's a word they use all the time. Putin solidified power in Russia. Xi solidified power in China. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, nigga, we've been in power for decades. John Lewis died in office. These niggas get a lifetime term in Congress. So to answer your question, they have no one. They had no new blood, no one up and coming. Their up and coming guy right now is Pete Buttigieg. That's their.
So let me throw up some comments because people answered the question. Yeah. Who do you think? So we had Pete Buttigieg. That was a comment. Some people said, "Do you think Pete Buttigieg could beat Donald Trump and or DeSantis?" Nick.
Hell no. Hell.
What about Kamala Harris? Somebody said Kamala Harris. Somebody said Gavin Newsom.
Kamala Harris has a better approval rating than AOC, so she has a better shot than AOC. That's all I have to say.
Shout out to Anthony. Thank you for the super chat. Freedom is scary for elites. Yes, it is scary having us being free to choose and vote. Somebody actually said AOC, Nick, to run. I can't imagine AOC running against Trump.
I would love AOC to run. It'll be funny. I even think AOC bringing up Medicare for all every once in a while. I think that would be positive. I would love to see AOC run, but AOC stands no chance, 0 chance.
Yeah, she would lose, but it would be good for her to run. I guess that would be good.
Before, she is less popular than Kamala Harris, according to the most recent Morning Consult approval ratings that I looked up and I'll show on the channel. She is only 1 point more popular than Hillary Clinton.
Good Lord!
So
how terrible you gotta be.
I would much rather AOC run just because I want people to really see that the Democratic Party is never going to allow anyone to the left of Nancy Pelosi even have a shot. But AOC, because she played the culture war so much, she would never win the working class in the Midwest. They hate her. AOC champions the most progressive and popular policies. How do you support the most popular policies, but you have a low approval rating as bad as people who don't support those things? It's because she did not focus on her strengths. She focused on having Twitter beefs with Ted Cruz. She focused on January 6th show trials. She spent all her time on Twitter talking about how she's a victim. Oh my God, I was afraid of my own public safety. Then she have Instagram videos talking about how she's gonna have her nails done because her personal acclamation or something like that. And people wonder why she's not popular. She should have did, and we have a lot of criticism of Bernie Sanders, right? But Bernie Sanders has been the most popular senator in the United States for decades. Well, I won't say decades because I don't know, but I would say for years. For at least the last 6 to 7 years, Bernie's been the most popular senator. And once again, despite all our criticism of Bernie, he would ignore like whatever the Democratic Party culture war is. Like he wouldn't engage with it. Yeah. But he would focus on economic issues, and that would lead him to be more popular. AOC did the exact opposite. AOC avoided all the stuff that would have made her popular, like marching for healthcare, calling for the end of wars, calling for the free release of Julian Assange. Like, even if you're a conservative, and we see this all the time. I remember seeing conservatives say this about Bernie, where they say, well, I don't agree with Bernie, but I love that he take a principled stand on this. No one can say that about AOC, because no one can say AOC taking the principled stand against her party, against the military-industrial complex, or against any of these issues. She's just focused on culture war. So this decision by AOC makes her significantly less electable than Bernie Sanders, who was already unelectable because the Democratic Party wouldn't let him win. So AOC wouldn't stand a chance.
Who do you think would do the best?
The only flaw in my argument regarding AOC, and when I say she doesn't have a chance to win, is that if the establishment decides AOC is going to win. You guys know what I mean? So yeah. I am positive AOC won't win presidency, but the Democratic Party establishment, and I want to concede that there's a potential flaw in my argument. The Democratic Party establishment is leaning more towards AOC now. You see, she's getting more favorable coverage. I see a lot of blue check liberals who hated Bernie Sanders and hated the squad. They now love AOC and defend her all the time. If they really wanted to make AOC happen, they will make AOC happen. The same, like if you asked me 4 years ago, if Biden would win, no way. That motherfucker ran 3 times and he was embarrassed. But the establishment was like, okay, we want Biden to win, and he won. So I am conflicted, I guess, going once on one end, I would say AOC would never win. But on one side, I know if the establishment wanted anyone to win, they would prop them up. So that's my answer. Electoral politics is a shit show. Anyway, CJ.
Yeah, I don't see anybody beating him except for Bernie Sanders, and we already know that Bernie they would rather Trump win than Bernie Sanders win. The Democratic establishment, the ruling class, all of their donors would absolutely, even the Lincoln Project. I remember them on MSNBC. I remember what's his name? Danny. What's the guy that's always on there? Danny something. He's not even a reporter, but he's just like a friend that's always on there. But he was on there saying, yeah, and the question was like, if Bernie wins when he was doing good, what are you gonna do? I don't know. I may have to vote for Trump. And he was like, what? Joe Scarborough was like, what? You're kidding, right? Joe Scarborough was saying that to him. He was on there. I forget his name. He's like a millionaire, white privilege.
You want to know
white guy? I forget his name. Anyway,
one last thing before you wrap up. You want to know who else is a big winner? Now you brought them up. I didn't even think about it, so I'll just search them. You knew they had something ready for this announcement. They tweeted this 30 minutes ago. The Lincoln Project grifted millions from liberals.
Yeah, and they're gonna get more.
They're a giant winner. They are a giant winner. Now Trump is back. They are about to make a shit ton of money, and they already have their ads ready. I'm not gonna play these ads are horrible. But you see, they said Donald Trump is back. We stand ready to help lead the fight against him. Partnering with any and all pro-democracy. Liberals about to give these people millions of dollars again.
This is about to be crazy.
Oh my God, guys, and I want to say this because regarding Trump, this is about to suck because I do not miss the Trump years. I don't know if I think a lot of people forget the Trump years was extremely annoying as a leftist. So think about it. We had to listen to Trump being deeply unserious, pretending he was anti-war while he had Mike Bolton and John Pompeo being insane war hawks. And at the same time, why are they trying to coup Venezuela while they escalating war with China as they escalating war with Iran? I got dummies on the right that say Trump is ending U.S. empire, even though he's funding genocides in Israel. And then you had Democrats that agree with them on every single fucking thing, so they had to concoct Russiagate. So we have Russiagate for 4 years. We had, remember Stormy Daniels? We had Stormy Daniels, that saga that would not end. We had Anthony Scaramucci. It was
it's literally like the National Enquirer. Yeah,
it was the most deeply unserious period ever in politics. I was so happy he was done with it, and I was dreading Trump re-announcing because things are going to get so dumb. Things are going to get so dumb. Those 4 years was the dumbest thing because that 4 years is responsible for the CIA shift. We talk about the Overton window shift between the Democratic Party and Republican Party. Those 4 years broke the brains of America. And I'm talking about in both parties in different ways. But go ahead, CJ. I know you want to say something. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't get why they think him announcing now makes a difference in the beginning of the story. Like, why does Trump care about who wins the Senate? He doesn't even like Mitch McConnell.
He don't
like why he already has the House, so there will be no investigations. He has the House. What the fuck does he care about the Senate? He doesn't care about the Senate. Literally, I mean Trump. I don't mean the Republican Party. I mean Trump individually don't care.
And to that point,
why does he want to deal with Mitch McConnell, somebody he doesn't like?
And to your point, CJ, this seat wouldn't even give Republicans control. This seat would give Democrats +1.
Yeah, so that must have been done before they knew the
Democrats already controlling. Yeah. That's why Trump was like, I don't give a fuck. And Republicans are pleading, was like, please don't run. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm very sorry.
So why are they saying that? So then that does make sense. Why are they saying that? Why are they saying that when the Senate is already gone? Like the you know what I mean? Like the Democrats are already gone. So what does it make a difference why does Trump care if they win or lose Georgia? He doesn't give a fuck. The Senate is already gone.
Yep. Yeah, he don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck at all. The Republicans in Georgia, remember, you guys, none of you people actually care about anything. It's all about their career. Because this one Senate seat is not going to matter in terms of Trump. Everything that Trump wants to pass, everything that Empire wants to get accomplished, they're going to get done. This is why the people who think there's going to be amazing progressive change if they lift the Senate filibuster, I don't buy it. So what thing has the establishment ever wanted that was blocked by the Senate 60 vote rule? But what was stopped? Like, imagine the military industrial complex wanted to accomplish something. Imagine, was there ever a time where they give corporate bailouts and it was like, God damn it, fucking Senate gridlock? That never happened for stuff that they want. So it doesn't matter.
Not going to start happening. It's not going to start happening. So in closing, the person I think, I don't actually, like I said, I think Bernie Sanders could have a shot, but the establishment would never let that happen. I mean, I don't know. They can't do the abortion thing, the codify abortion thing. They're already pulled. They can't do any tricks they done in the midterms. So I'm trying to see what can they pull. They can't pull Russiagate again. They have to come back with January 6th, but that's kind of played out. I'm trying to think. They can't use democracy again.
And the economy is going to get worse, guys. They're already predicting a massive recession next year because capitalism is a very stable system that crashes every 5 to 7 years. So capitalism is so unstable. Capitalism is having crashes within crashes. So it's like the economy crashed. They're like, oh no, it's gonna crash again. It didn't crash all the way. We gotta have another crash. So that's another thing to consider. Like Democrats was projected to be wiped out. Now I gotta say this, guys. I think I said this on George Galloway's show. And when you watch coverage of elections, they say, well, it's a historical trend that the ruling the party that's in power loses the next midterm, and they talk about it as if it's a force of nature. Right. Like, oh, it's a historical. There's nothing you can do about it. When you take power, you're gonna lose. They never asked themselves this question: why, when the president take power, do they immediately lose the House and Senate the midterm after? It's not a force of nature. It's not just a historical trend that happens because politician promises shit. They get elected, they disappoint their base, the base get depressed, the other base is fired up, and then the president loses. So the historical midterm losses is because of the failure of the president.
Right, because they make it seem like people just go, "Oh, I want divided government." That's not what happened. It's not like all the laws are getting passed and everything's going great. And they say, "You know what? We want divided government. Let's do that." That's not what happened. But
I just noticed these. I noticed these small things they just leave out. So they always do that. But Biden beat the historical trend, but we have not even got to the worst part, because now we're going to see the global consequences of the war in Ukraine. I got a lot of cover. There's a lot of shit that happened today with the NATO launching, missiles going to Poland. Yeah. I'm still putting everything together. It's crazy. I don't want to get into it because we're going to wrap up soon. But even Biden, this Ukraine was trying to say Russia did it. Even Biden saying it wasn't Russia, because now things are really starting to escalate. So next year, we don't know what this country is going to look like. The new recession coming, the geopolitical situation is going to go out of hand because of the Biden unhinged foreign policy. I don't know, man.
So you're telling me the next 2 years, Trump has 2 years. Think about, Trump is going to have 2 years to run on an economy that's going down. Trump is going to have 2 years to say, When I was in office, I didn't do that. When I was in office, this wasn't happening. He's going to always be able to say, when I was in office, we didn't have 8% inflation. When I was in office, this and that. He's not going to be able to say that. He's going to be able to say that. So you're telling me, Nick, 2024, we're going to be in a recession. Because if it starts next year, that means it's not going to end in one. It's not going to, 12 months is up. Let's stop the recession. It's going to bleed. So you're telling me, right around the time when it's time for the election is winding down, it's time for the election to actually happen, it's either going to be in the middle of a recession or right coming out of a recession. And how is that going to play out for the Democratic? This looks like a disaster. I'm trying to play out the scenarios, Nick, that is advantageous to the Democrats, and I can't see one. With the candidates and the lay of the land in 2024, I don't see.
You will know good news, because I am the revolutionary optimist. I'm too optimistic at sometimes, and this is a good way to end the stream, right? The good news is, when has there ever been a better time to build a third party than right now? Yeah, so you're gonna have people, Donald Trump versus Joe Biden again. Again, you already have record amounts. Over 50% of the American voters say they are ready for a third party. I just covered this a few weeks ago. For the very first time, morning consult show that the majority of registered voters are independent. And then you're going to have a rematch between two dementia-filled senior citizen war criminals, Donald Trump and Joe Biden. In the middle of a massive recession, that is the best time for us to build a third party, because there are going to be so many people demoralized just by having these two options. There are going to be people that, and I've seen people say this already, CJ. I thought that we was fighting to save abortion rights in 2020. We already lost abortion rights, so why shouldn't I vote for third party? We already lost abortion rights. So the one thing they had that was pulling people away from that, it's gone. And I've seen activists say that, like, there's no reason to vote for the Democratic Party no more now. Roe v. Wade is gone, right? So this, more than anything, and to be fair, guys, I said this when Bernie lost. I was so disappointed, because I was like, nigga, Bernie lost to Hillary, and y'all voted for Hillary? So to be fair, I have said this before.
That was terrible.
But I think with the current historical context, the incoming recessions, Biden failures to handle the recession, the Democratic Party being exposed as pro-police state, pro-imperialist, and the clown Republican Party that was just rejected in the midterms. And Donald Trump, in theory, should be able to roll Joe Biden next election. But imagine if they just start running every ad saying woke again. Joe Biden is running the woke agenda. Then that shit's going to be unserious. So he still might win, but let's pull the people away from the system that will see the clown show and tell them to vote for a third party for a change. And CJ, this is going to be the first election that RBN, and imagine where we're going to be at. We We are less than 2 years old, and we are already running laps around the boutique left. Imagine what RB is going to be. This is going to be our first election. So you're going to have a media apparatus that instead of sheepdogging people into the Democratic Party, like the people who have way more influence than us have been doing, you're going to have RBNs and the people we inspire in our entire community trying to advocate people to go third party, and we're going to be doing mutual aid. Imagine how much we're going to grow in terms of chapters by then. Like imagine where we're going to be by summer 2024. And we're going to
we should reach out to the We should reach out to the Green Party. We can do that with Jill Stein and say we need to coordinate something to grow.
I want to get 3%.
The Green Party.
Guys.
Like
so,
we should reach out to them and coordinate with some other people to try to really in targeted areas. You know what I mean? Like where the laws are a little bit softer, maybe where the lawsuits won't come as quick. We need to target areas to grow the party. If that's the party we want to grow, I'm just trying to think of the one that has the most developed infrastructure and the closest policies. And that, to me, that's the Green Party with all their flaws. That's why I'm saying we need to inject.
And they want to be taken over.
Yeah, they want to be taken over. So I had so many
Green Party people on the highest levels that say, I heard your plan about having the Green Party as a black party. And they like, shit, we down. They already have reparations on the ticket. And let's get rid of the Howie Hawkins wing of the party. We're very vocal about that. Let's embrace Jill Stein. And embrace Jill Stein. Let's have a real third party that is based on mutual aid, that actually have revolutionary discipline, that bring these things in. And we can, using our platform, exploit the clownery. Because this is what we should be doing as Marxists. Lenin wrote about this. Like when we talk about the election, this is why we covered the Trump announcement. Our job at Marxists, at revolutionaries, is to expose the clown show, expose the contradictions, and how unserious this process is, right? So we cover electoral politics. We cover these politicians to let you guys know there is no path through here, and this is why. This is we should use these divisions in the Capitol to mock them, to delegitimize them, because we want to delegitimize their system, and then pill people to a third party movement at the same time. And there's never been a leftist like network and organization that was dedicated to only doing that. TYT Majority Report, Democratic operatives, Cal Kalinske, Democratic Party operative, Crystal Ball, Democratic Party operative. And I don't know why they would take that as an insult, because that's literally what they do. So let's this election, and this is I'll pass to you, CJ. I did my last thought. Good news. This is probably the best opportunity we have to really start building this movement, because this election, Biden, Trump took.
It's like a clown show. Like even people who used to be they're like, man, this is some crazy bullshit. Like more and more people is peeling off, and we have to push the gas in our.
I cannot
pointing
wait
out the contradictions. We have to be on that shit. And Trump is going to give us a lot of material, and the people who are going to respond to Trump, all of the PMC class media sphere is going to be on Trump every day. So they're going to give us a lot of stuff to just go, really? You think this about Trump? Okay, what about this, and this, and this, and this? We'll be able to point it out every day.
That's going to be our main goal. We're going to point out the contradictions and the failures of this democracy. And I'm glad that I have been able to get people to realize that the two parties are not worth investing in. So I'm going to keep drilling home. We got Biden, Trump again in this brilliant democracy of you guys. Do we really want to keep going through this? Or we actually want to have a revolution for change? So,
this is why we want Howie Hawkins wing gone.
Yeah, that's why we want I gave Howie Hawkins every chance to clean up
I remember
his
that
horrific record, because remember I had an interview with him and I asked him these questions. I gave him some suggestions, and after that, done. And I had Green Party members reach out to me after that, like, "Yep, done." Because I asked him about Russiagate. I gave him a chance to walk away from Russiagate. He doubled down. I gave him a chance to get Ukraine right, double down. It's like, and I literally asked him like the difference, because he kept doing this lesser two evil shit. Well, he was like, yeah, we're a third party, we're Green Party, we're doing our thing, but I think the Republicans are worse. Why would people vote for you then if you're saying that? And I was asking, like, if you are running as a third party and you are telling people that the Republican Party is worse, why would they vote for you, Howie? I don't know, shit vibes. He no good answer. And I'm not gonna spill too much beans, but
he didn't do well in that interview. People was going at him when he said that.
I'm not gonna say names because I'm sure I don't think they will appreciate that. But trust me, guys, I talked to a lot of people in the Green Party that was not happy with Howie Hawkins, and I really, really hope they learned their mistake. I really hope because we telling them no. I don't know how anyone listened to Jill Stein and had their head listening to her. I think she's the future. Like we need to follow the Jill Stein wing. Anything Howie Hawkins, we gotta go.
I'm a no on Jesse. I don't consider him even a real,
hard no. So Jesse, people, I was like maybe because I didn't know that much about him. People say he's against the war. Then he gave an interview with Sabby. I was like, hard no. Did you guys see the interview between Jesse Jackson?
Yeah, I saw. I don't know if the audience.
Jesse Ventura and Sabby. No.
Yeah, no. I mean, for us, you guys can do what you want, but for us, we talk about the Green Party. So if you have issues with the Green Party, do you, whatever that is, like, do you? But this is what we're talking about. Yeah,
the Green Party is not above criticism, and I think it's very important for us to criticize the Green Party. Well, I want you guys to understand. We talking about urgency. Do you guys know how long it takes to get on the ballot? We gotta get serious. The People Party is nowhere
what makes
near the
me upset, Nick, is that people are willing to believe in the Democrat Party taking over the Democratic Party. Yeah. But then when you're talking about the Greens, it's like, no, it's like, nigga, do you understand the different lift that is to take over the Greens and to take over the capitalist, the two-party major capitalist party? We're talking about two different lifts,
and they open to it. Like Democrats,
you pointing out stuff about the Green Party now does what? Nobody is saying let's take the Green Party in the conditions they are now and everybody and let's do that. No one's saying that. We're saying that if we have to take an existing apparatus, the best one that has the closest policies will be the Green Party. So let's take that over. Do you understand what that means? Let's take it over. Yeah. So the critiques you have for it is irrelevant because we're taking it over. Like, it's so stupid.
Exactly,
all of your critiques, it doesn't matter.
So people,
if we're taking it over, we're not saying let's join them to keep it the way it is. That's what progressive Democrats are doing with the Democratic Party. They're moving right. Nobody's saying that.
That's well said, because in the Democratic Party, as shown, there is no infrastructure to take over the party because they are hostile to outside change. If the Green Party shows any hostility to the change that we are advocating for,
then we out.
Peace, nigga. But by the way, I am telling you, I had conversations with these people. We had Jill Stein on multiple times. The Green Party knows, and a lot of people in the higher leadership knows they fucked up with Howie Hawkins. They know they dropped the ball recently, and they want change, right? And it's better to do that with a party that's on the ballot. It takes years, guys, and they made it harder with the latest anti-democratic bill. Remember the one where they were purging Green Party candidates on the ballot? Remember the John Lewis Democracy Bill Act? They made it harder to fundraise for third parties to get on the ballot. So third parties had to raise more money. So it's harder to get on the ballot than it was when the Green Party got on the ballot. So if you start a new party, you got to raise a shit. It's like $100,000 more. I got to reread the bill, but with the HR1 that they passed, they made it harder to start a third party, harder to get on the ballot, harder to fundraise. So if you have a sense of urgency, doesn't it make more sense for us to at least try to influence the Green Party and turn it into a mutual aid party, and then adjust after that if they disallow that? Then instead of trying to get on the ballot and raise all this money, like, to me, that just makes more sense.
What it is that it's residual anger and animosity that a lot of left people have towards the Green Party because of stuff that has happened in the past. Not really policy, and it's really just you can hear in the argument they have what they bring up about the Green Party. It's like, that's not is that the Green Party, or was that one person you're talking about? Like you're you're giving the party this critique that belongs to a person or two. And that's what's weird. It tells me that there's something behind the critique you have for them. And what I noticed, there was a lot of people with the Howie Hawkins thing and how he got the nomination. That was their thing. So, and ever since that, now they bring up all kind of just points that are kind of just stupid, lack a lot of like intellect, because they're upset about how things went and how Howie Hawkins got the nomination. So again, that's people. You get what I'm saying? It's like saying, you know what? I'm not going to use an example. Like, do what you do. If you're not down with this, then go do what you do, sir.
Yeah, we'll lead by example. I'm tired though.
Yeah, but you're not affecting what we're gonna do. This is what we're doing. This is what we're preaching. Like, just do you. So, but yeah, I got to get going. It's 9:00 here. I know it's midnight, or it's 11 at your way. So
yeah, we decided. We decided to do this last second because we was talking shit a little bit behind the scenes. So like, let's jump on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this impromptu late night coverage. And the last part, what we're talking about, what no matter what route you decide to take, next election is the time to do this mutual aid party. It's the time to challenge the duopoly, and that's what our focus should be. And I think the debate on the mechanism in which we do that is important. But I just want us to be on the same page that that's what we're going to do. Before, we couldn't even do that, CJ. So isn't it a good thing that we at least agree, having disagreements on?
Yeah, then this is a great point here. New party is always better than to take over a party. A new party, of course, a new party is always already better. But how many people, raise your hand, with how many people are willing for all the people, the millions of people that's going to die because you're adding another 50 or so years to start from scratch? Anybody volunteering their family members to die during that time? You get what I'm saying? Like, we're talking as if we have time. Or do we? Do we not see the bombs that are being dropped in Somalia? Do we not see the people that's being starved in Afghanistan? So we're going to lead by example. You can join and jump on if you want. If you don't, go do you. Go start your own party. Go do that. And I'm not against it. Like, if it's successful, then I'll join with you.
Yeah, we'll help you.
But what we're saying is the best route to go right now, but today's is going to be the Green Party, and we're going to be reaching out to them for a plan, and hopefully we can help with this process. Maybe we could travel around to communities and knock door to door and do that type of thing in certain communities to reach out, doing like Black outreach and saying, hey, we want to make this party a Black party. Maybe. And when I say Black party, I mean representative of Black. Of course, we want everybody to be there, but we need to reach out to those people to say, we want this to be representative. You feel like a party has never represented you. And look, this is a party with reparations. This is a party with the land back. This is a party with, whatever the
Green Party calls for cutting the military budget 75%. So that's a very good starting point for a party.
You know what? When you name the stuff, and then I hear the specific pushback against the Green Party.
You guys want to see it?
Like, I'm just not. I can't take people serious. That's like that. I just can't. Like, are you hearing that it's for reparations? Are you hearing that it's for 75% cut of? And your critique is what? Like, that's like your critique is like here, like this, and what the party represent is like this. It's like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It
CJ,
just
you know what I
doesn't.
noticed?
Like, you can't bring me to that place.
CJ, you want to know? You want to know what I noticed when I was telling people about the Green Party platform in 2020? Most people didn't know it. Literally, most people had no idea. You guys see on the right here, the Peace tab on the right. That is what I think is worth saving. So we have a lot of disagreement. I'm gonna read it. 75% military budget cut. Close overseas bases. No new nuclear treaties, nuclear disarmament, no first use policies, end coups and meddling, lift sanctions, support
now,
BDS. Support BDS. That is not what the squad is doing. Ranked choice voting, in the war on drugs. Like these things, this is the platform. And we
Nick, you hear that, and then you go, I'm not, fuck that shit, nigga. You see what they did with Howie Hawkins? You tell me how that sounds serious. Tell me how that sounds serious after you hear what they're for, and then your critique is, oh, I'm not fucking with them because of blah, blah, blah. To me, you're just telling me, you might as well just say, I'm unserious. Just tell me that from the jump.
You see on the left in social justice, look at the fourth down, reparations. I told you guys, I'm a policy-based voter. I was that way years ago. I've always been that way. I may have been misled in 2012, but I voted for the Green Party because I saw this in 2016. When I saw 2020, I had a ton of criticism of Howie Hawkins, but I saw the 75% military budget cut. What the fuck do I look like as an anti-imperialist voting against the ticket that has a 75% military base budget cut?
It tells me you're unserious. It tells me you're unserious.
So anyway, you guys can do what you do. Cause I know the Green. Like once again, there's legitimate criticism of the Green Party. I'm not saying that.
Nobody's saying
I am a policy-based voter, and I'm not voting against what you see on the right here. All of this stuff is good. Don't get me wrong. I can read all of it, but for the sake of time, the one on the right, the peace tab, is exceptionally good. Once again, support BDS is there, and I think this is enough to at least vote for them on the ballot. And I think we need to change all the criticisms we have so we can make this platform more appealing, right? So anyway, that's already. I know we're gonna a little long. Last thought, CJ.
No, yeah, we're gonna
enough. Like we need to be policy-based voter. We need to uplift the policies that we see here, right? Even if you like, I think that's more important than any of the other small disagreements. But anyway, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, CJ.
There could be legitimate concerns, but to me, somebody serious wouldn't go. The party that holds 75% of what I actually want to get done, but I have this critique. Fuck them. To me, it should be the party that holds 75% of what I want done, and they're terrible in these areas. I'm about to go fucking fix that shit.
Yeah,
that's what it should sound like to me. And it doesn't. So it just tells me you're not serious. And I can't I'm just being honest. I literally can't take people serious in particular on this subject. Like I don't engage because like if somebody came to me and said the sky is yellow, I don't engage with that person. I just go, okay. And then I move on. Like it's so this particular point on the Green Party is such a stupid criticism to me. But go ahead, Nick.
We can wrap. We went 90 minutes.
We can wrap here. Yeah,
we went a little longer than we wanted. So, but anyway, this is fun. It was fun.
Yeah, we'll wrap here. I don't have an outro video, so we'll just close with our outro. This little. Yeah, we'll close with that because I don't have a video. I don't want to play an outro video. My family's ready for me to go. They're waiting at the door. So. All right, Nick. So I'm not sure we'll do a video tomorrow. I might be too tired, but we'll see.
I actually have a few things I gotta do tomorrow actually too. So we may take tomorrow off. And then
if not, I'll upload some clips. I'll upload some clips tomorrow. So we shall see. But all right, let me take this off the screen. All right, Nick. See everybody, and everybody have a great rest of your night, and see you tomorrow.